In 2011, Cullman Electric Cooperative powers more than 40,000 homes and businesses in North Alabama. With highly trained crews, friendly faces, and advanced technology, we are the reliable power source the people of Cullman, Winston, Morgan, and Lawrence counties depend on. But the story of Cullman Electric Cooperative is not about poles and wires. It's about people. It's about the men and women who worked hard to organize a member-owned company to provide a life-changing service for their families and their neighbors. And it's the story of those members, employees, and directors who have worked together through the years to make this one of the strongest, most progressive cooperatives in Alabama. We're your Cullman Electric Cooperative, and we are celebrating 75 years of powering your life.
Oh, I remember it was dark. We had these little kerosene lamps.
And we had to sit next to them to read at night. And we done most of our reading before dark, because it is hard on you to read with them.
I had 8 brothers and sisters, and we all studied by them kerosene lamps.
We just managed. We could, before the refrigerator, we'd keep milk in the summertime in the well.
Some people would carry their milk down to a spring and set the jugs down in the spring and let them stay till supper time, go get them. It wasn't cold, but it was cool.
My father was Robert Lemuel Bates, called RL, and most people called him Lim, but he was one of the original incorporators, one of the 14.
And those people put a big effort in trying to organize this.
They got out and got memberships to get $5 membership, I believe, to get this thing started.
And I know people think today that $5 wasn't nothing, but think about what $5 was in 1936 during the Depression.
They had some problems, some of them. You have people that didn't want it, that had tried to work against it.
They had a lot of, or some opposition to it, I believe, in the very beginning. I don't know if it was from the other big power company, you know, that didn't really want to come here, but I don't guess they wanted us to incorporate too and do it. But
there was a feeling by a lot of people that the people in the county didn't need electricity.
But that was something, they worked it out and got it going, got everything going on it.
You know, they were really, really dedicated in what they were doing. They worked hard, and the thing about those men, you know, those original incorporators, they were highly respected all over the whole county.
They got out there and collectively said, we're going to provide something for ourselves that nobody else will. We're going to see that we in rural America have the same conveniences that those who live closer to town, that they enjoy.
And those people worked hard to get it started, and that was the catalyst that made Cullman Electric Co-op what it is today.
We're the first co-op in the state of Alabama to provide electric service, and we have the marker out here on Highway 69 to commemorate that area out there where I believe we picked up 350 customers on that first day that the electricity was turned on there for them.
Gladys Graham, she was the first secretary. I believe they paid her $50 a month to come in and be a secretary, and she walked from Cullman, from her place somewhere out of town there, to work.
I went to work, I was 22 years old on the 19th day of July, and I went to work on the 20th. I answered the telephone, and then of course we started taking applications because we had to have some money for service, which they had to pay a $5 membership. The TVA let us have some pencil and paper, and I don't know whether they furnished a tackle box or not, but we got one, and we used that, and the first furniture we bought was a library table and a chair.
I was 10 years old, and I had never seen a bright light till we got that. And Mother would wake me and my older brother up of the morning and turn that light on. Oh, that light over your head, that is awesome.
Pull that string and that light come on. That was something. We played with it.
Mother tied the string from that pull chain to our bed so we could turn it on. Well, that was a step forward.
First thing that plugged in was the refrigerator. We enjoyed that cool milk and cool water.
Daddy bought Mother a refrigerator. Then next, the washing machine.
Early 40s, first television come in. We went to a neighbor's house and watched the fights on television.
Then we bought a radio.
That's what we listened to at night. Turn the radio on and listen to Amos and Andy, Lum and Abner. That was our main thing.
It was a great change in it. We didn't have to get everything done before night time. You know, before then you had to get done before dark. But after that, we could do a lot of work at night.
I can't imagine doing that now.
Well, if it hadn't been for Cullman Electric Co-op, things would be different here now. That's one thing for sure.
I hate to think where we'd been. We had to progress some, I guess, for sure we would have, but not where we're at, not where we're at.
I think it would probably be about half the population that we have now, and maybe half the industry. I wouldn't say that much.
I don't know what we'd do if we didn't have electricity.
Electricity is one thing that you can't do without.
Electricity is our livelihood. Now, you cut the power off, we're out of business now. Even out here on the farm, everything depends on that power, just about.
Well, I was 6 years old, so I don't remember the establishment of it, but I do know the results of it, and that's what I'm particularly proud of.
My husband was in service. When he returned, his father had a country store and a cotton gin, and it was in the fall of the year, and so my husband and Mr. Walker got together and did some trading, and we were in the store business and in the cotton gin business. And at that time, our cotton gin had a big diesel engine, and in 1947, we put a electric motor in, and in 1948, we ginned more cotton than any other gin in the county.
We, like all small towns, are very interested in bringing any type of industry in that we can, and we would always go to the cooperative and ask them questions about what they could help us provide for them, especially in the area of energy or electricity, but they were very helpful too with some other projects that we took on to try to enhance our town to the point where we could attract maybe some industry, some businesses. So they were very helpful. I depended on them quite a bit as mayor and ask them for advice frequently.
And that's what a cooperative is just what the word says, that you have to cooperate with each other.
I'm part of the cooperative. It's more like a partnership rather than it is just us being customers. It's ours.
We have scholarships that we pass out to graduating seniors that goes to a graduating senior at every one of the high schools in the service area.
And on our electric bill every month, we round up to the next dollar if you choose to do so. And that money goes to provide these grants for the schools. And a lot of people benefit from it, and it doesn't cost them a lot of money.
We built the field that the high school varsity girls softball team plays on. The co-op was very helpful in setting the poles, setting the lights. They helped us with the direction, placing the lights so that the maximum amount of light was on the field. So they were, again, quick to come out, didn't ask a lot of questions. They just came out and did the work that they knew we needed done so we could develop the field, get it to the point where we could play on it. So they've been very helpful in that regard.
That's bettering the community, and that's what co-ops are all about. And it's all down to the point, it's not like some of the investor-owned electric companies. This is owned by the membership.
When I started to work at co-op in '68, I think the membership was between 8,000 and 10,000. I don't know exactly. And now it's in excess of 40,000 meters out there.
When I came to work here, we had a digger truck from that technology, one digger truck. We had one bucket truck, and everything else was climbed. Everything was done manually. Holes were dug. You'd dig holes all day and then come back the next day and set poles in.
That's one of the major things that I look at and am proud of, is the fleet that we have out there, the digger trucks and the bucket trucks. They're quality vehicles, and the employees take care of them, and it's an asset to the co-op to have those vehicles in top-notch shape.
There's one of the changes, that big power line over there and the big substation down here on the highway, and we don't have as many outages as we used to have. And
technology has not only gotten more complicated, but it's also been more efficient.
The technology today to accomplish job completion, building new lines, tasks of all sorts, is far superior to what we had in 1972. Our member information files, our telephone system, our outage management system, the map board that we have downstairs in dispatch, that when one of our members calls in and reports a power outage, an alarm goes off and it shows up on the board.
We got GPS, just punch a few little old buttons and you got a guy that's 25 miles out there that's got the word he needs to be about 3 miles over as an outage, and he can get there in a short period of time. Where it used to, it didn't work that way.
Not only that, we can see our trucks move across that map. When we have an outage, we know where our crew's at. Because the last thing we want to do is re-energize a line when there's another crew in the area that may be on that line. So we can literally look at our map in dispatch and see where our crews are at, how long they've been there, where they're moving, and when we have another outage, we know who's the closest. It is a management tool and it's a safety tool. It's a great safety tool for our people. Remote meter reading system that we have available now. We can tell when people are out of power. We can check when their power is back on. We can check voltage levels through that. We don't have to wait till there's a voltage issue somewhere and somebody call in and say, you know, my lights are real dim. We know it. Through our automated outage management system, you walk in our dispatch center during a large outage and it's calm. And we can have a half a dozen people call in and we know where it's out at. Not only do we know what piece of equipment has got the circuit out, we know who all is out because the computer's smart enough to tell us that. We got a great group of employees here at the co-op, and I've told them many times, I've never worked with a group of people who are as knowledgeable and as dedicated to what they do as we have here at Cullman Electric Co-op. The membership of this co-op is very fortunate to have the group of people that it has here running their co-op. With all the changes that are taking place, the new technologies, the smart meters, the smart grid, all those things that you hear about, environmental issues, nuclear's making a comeback, and that's certainly a positive thing as far as we're concerned. There's a lot of things going on with solar and wind. There's a whole lot of emphasis being put on conservation, efficiency, and those are good things.
We're living in a completely different ball game. It's not the same as it was. The principle is the same, serving people. The co-op is here to serve.
The financial aspect of Cullman Electric Co-op is sound. It will remain sound, and it's being done accurately.
I just appreciate them, the men, you know, when they come out, we have power outages, they come out all times of the day and night, and I just got a lot of respect for them, and they have served the people so well. And
when their power is off, I know my neighbor right here, he works on them lines when they're down, and I know what kind of weather they have to work in.
They have really been a blessing to me and my corporation.
Anything that we needed done, well, they were right there to do it. Didn't hesitate.
One of the major things that I appreciate about the co-op and the service that they provide, it's always there, to the point where I can take it for granted.
It's been a pleasure doing business with them.
We really appreciate them. Everybody to do with Cullman Electric Co-op.
Well, I'm just proud I'm a member of it.